Hi everybody, it is day 55 of quarantine. I should say semi-quarantine because honestly part of our state has opened back up. The governor has asked us to please remain at home as much as possible. So we decided instead of going out, we're going to bring food in today. But I wanted to make my favorite dessert because everybody here loves Jell-O brand cheesecake. So I'm gonna just do my little video today teaching you how easy it is to make this thing. And no, I don't own any stock in Jell-O. My first step is going to be actually making the graham cracker crust. That requires, hold on one second here, that requires a mixture of the graham crackers into my KitchenAid. Not sure if you guys can actually see that, but that along with 1 stick of melted butter that I've already melted in preparation for the video. So, and then there's also 2 tablespoons of sugar. Although I had my sugar out, I didn't have it in view of the video. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so that's 4 tablespoons. It's 2 tablespoons per pack. So that's how I came up with 4 tablespoons according to the directions, because I'm making not 1 Jell-O brand cheesecake, but 2, because around here, 1's not enough. Excuse me one second. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix the graham crackers with the butter, with the sugar. I'm gonna put that in my KitchenAid about on medium, just for a minute, just to get it mixed up. Okay, that looks about mixed up enough. One of the nice little things that my mom taught me when we were growing up, thank you Mom in heaven, is that you get all of your ingredients out first, have them measured as best you can, and then as you use them, you put them away. That way you can be sure that you haven't forgotten about anything. So roughly half of this per pie plate. I'm using glass pie plates. There's no need to prepare the bottom or anything. You just put that graham cracker crust right in it. So, like so. Okay, put that over there because I'm gonna have to rinse that in a minute. But I have already washed my hands, therefore I'm gonna use my hands to actually pat down the graham cracker crust. It's really important that you wash your hands before cooking because you just never know when you're gonna have to use them. Little PSA there. Nowadays during the quarantine, you want to wash your hands as much as you can anyway. It doesn't have to be a work of art, just a functional crust. So I'm gonna rinse my KitchenAid mixer out so that I can do the next step. Okay, now that everything's all rinsed off, it's ready to use again. Only this time it's going to be used for the innards of the Jell-O cheesecake. One second here. I just love my KitchenAid, by the way. I got that for Mother's Day probably 10 years ago from my kids. I use this thing all the time. Love, love, love it. Okay, the next step is we're going to mix number 2 in. That's the actual no-bake cheesecake mix. I'm going to mix both of those in here. Well, I shouldn't say pour, I'm sorry. Pour that in. Pour in the other one. This step actually takes a few extra minutes because you have to actually mix it for several minutes. But in the meantime, it also calls for 1.5 cups of milk per box that you're making. Since I'm making 2 boxes, that's 3 cups of milk. I should have had it already measured out, but I at least had the 1 cup measuring cup along with the gallon of milk out. Okay, and that's 3. Let me just put this stuff away. Once again, putting it away to make sure that I have used it. Well, okay. Now, when you're mixing it, this one specifically asks you to mix on low for 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna kind of estimate how long 30 seconds is. Although I do have a timer, my cute little cow timer, for the next part. My little pie crust. That's about 30 seconds. Now the next one's going to be, you're going to mix it on, let's see here, we're going to mix it on medium speed for 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set my timer because 3 minutes. Okay, cow timer set. 3 minutes to go. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up, so pardon me for a second. When they say a watch pot never boils, apparently a watched timer doesn't go off. No, it should go off any second, guys. Okay, well, and that's it. Thank you, Mr. Timer. Okay. Put that away. All right. It's nice and fluffy. Remember when you were a kid and you got to lick the beaters? Guess what? I'm not a kid, but I get to lick the beaters. That's the best part. I'm gonna leave it aside though, for now. Okay, KitchenAid is done. Now, I get to scoop half of this into one half into each pie plate. It's a lot fluffier than I thought. Sometimes it comes out fluffy, sometimes not so fluffy. This time it's fluffy, but that's okay. The longer you beat it, the fluffier it is. It's gonna be delicious. It honestly is the easiest baking you can do. Let's see here. I'm just kind of spreading it around in the, not sure if you can see, but I'm trying to spread it around in the pie plate. And because this is next to last step for one of them and the last step for the other, one of them has a topping on it, the other one does not. So I'm trying to make this one look as smooth as possible. And okay, it's not gonna look perfect, but that doesn't matter, it's gonna taste perfect. Spread this one out nice. I made a little bit of a mess with this one too. As you can see, little messy, but once again, not gonna change the taste at all. And if you have more than one kid, you would know you get one beater for a kid, one spatula, and the inside of the bowl. My mom used to always leave a little extra in the bowl for us because she had 3 kids. We all had to have something, which was really kind of her. I don't have a kid hanging around the house right now, so I'm taking it all out as best I can. Stacking it on there for that yumminess later. Okay, bowl is done, putting that aside. And the last thing is the topping. The number 3 step for one of these is the topping. I'm just gonna snip a little corner off of the top right-hand corner in this case, because I'm gonna use that as a little funnel in order to make it so it doesn't go all over the place, but I can position it the way I want it. So I'm gonna squeeze that onto there. Not sure, I know you guys can't really see it, but basically I'm just squeezing the topping out so that it can go all over the pie. In this case, it's cherry cheesecake. Trying to get it all out here. This will be a big hit later. After we eat, guess what we're having? Leave in the comment what you think we're having for dinner and I'll let you know if you're right or not. Okay, I'm gonna get out a knife. I wasn't quite prepared for that. I got a fork instead. And I'm gonna take those cherries and I'm gonna spread them all over the cheesecake top. It's not gonna be the most beautiful cheesecake you've ever seen, but it is gonna be tasty. Now, of course, this cheesecake's not gonna really compare for a lot of people who are used to maybe a New York style cheesecake. But in the meantime, got the topping pretty much spread all over. Trust me, later it's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be a hit. All right, guys. Those cherries are delicious. You know all the calories that I just consumed from licking the beater and from just licking that fork from spreading out those delicious cherries. You know those don't count, right? Anyway, happy Mother's Day. That's my little tutorial on making Jell-O brand cheesecake. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And here's the final product. One with cherries, oops, and one without. I'll see you guys tomorrow.